This is The Creative Way on the Jefferson Exchange. I'm Vanessa Finney. Jane Lynch is a comedic actress known for her starring and recurring roles in comedic television, as well as a turn with Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci in the film Julie and Julia. She's also an accomplished singer who's been touring a musical Christmas show for many years with her fellow comedian vocalist Kate Flannery of The Office fame. She recently spoke with me from her home in Mendocino about a new cabaret show she's created with Kate and music director Tony Guerrero. It's called The Trouble with Angels, and it's coming to the Craterian Theater in Medford and the Cascade Theater in Reading in September. Hi, welcome, Jane.
Hi, thank you for having me, Vanessa.
So Kate Flannery couldn't join us for the interview, unfortunately, but I'd like to sort of invoke her name right away as your creative partner. How did you two meet, and when did you hatch the idea to create this show together?
Well, Kate and I met in the late 80s in Chicago. We were in the same theater group. We both were at Second City. We both understudied people there. And then we went to the Annoyance Theater, which is still alive and thriving today. And we did a show called The Real Live Brady Bunch that we did all over the country. But Kate and I have been friends since then. And we bonded on our love of this particular music that's in this show, Trouble with Angels, which is the late 50s, early 60s type stuff. We're both Irish Catholic girls. She's from Philadelphia. I'm from Chicago. We both have dads who were very instrumental in our life, who loved music, loved Irish music, and loved the music of this particular era, which is the late 50s, early 60s type stuff here in the States. And so we put this show together. We've done a series of cabaret shows. We do a Christmas show that we tour all over the country for the last 10 years. But we decided to put this one together just to have another vehicle for us to hit the road where we're together and having fun and really, doing the music that we love so much. And we have a terrific band, the Tony Guerrero Quartet. It's quartet for this. It's a quintet when we do the Christmas show, and they love this music too. So it's been just a real coming together of like minds who love a particular era. And so that's why we call this particular show The Trouble with Angels, because both Kate and I love that movie and we love the music of that era.
The Rosalind Russell movie.
Yeah, Haley Mills, Rosalind Russell.
Yep, it was a really funny, very entertaining movie.
Great, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I found a clip of The Trouble with Angels, which kind of shows how fun it is. This is you and Kate were live at the Bankhead, and you did a fantastic rendition of Far From the Home I Love from Fiddler on the Roof.
What a melancholy choice this is. Wanting home, wanting him. Losing my heart to every hope but his. Leaving a home I love.
So as we just heard, the show is cabaret style. What are some themes from the show? What can audiences expect?
Well, Kate and I have a particular dynamic. She's a very unpredictable, spontaneous, sometimes imprecise person, and I'm much more, I toe the line, and I heard the cat, that is Kate Flannery. And so that's kind of the basis of our comedy in life and our comedy on stage. And, we love to harmonize. And so we go back and forth, this song, she might be the harmonizer and I might sing the lead and then vice versa. And so we make use of our own particular talents, and they tend to, kind of meld with each other very well. And that Far From the Home I Love that you just heard is a Barry's sister rendition. The Barry sisters were they were in like Brooklyn in the Hasidic community, and they were very popular. They sang in Yiddish for the most part, and they composed this version of Far From the Home I Love, which of course is nothing like the one in the show. And it's just a real crowd pleaser, if I do say so myself. We just love doing that. And two Irish Catholic girls singing, two Yiddish girls, a composition I think is kind of funny.
That was a fun part of it, yeah. Tell me about your music director. You mentioned Tony Guerrero. I take it he's a jazz guy and he's written for film and TV.
Yeah. Tony's a prolific composer, and his own compositions, his own jazz compositions, and he's arranged everything we do. He's pretty amazing. He's a really funny guy too. He's very dry, and he's very much a presence on the stage as well. And then the guys in his band are amazing. Everybody looks like a throwback too. It looks like we're in the late 50s, early 60s. They wear the skinny black ties and the black suits. And so it was really a coming together of people who dug the same kind of stuff. And, you know, Tony, and we couldn't do what we do without Tony. He's just musically, you know, a genius. And not only does he compose everything, he plays the piano, and he is a master trumpet player, just an amazing trumpet player. And he also holds the second most amount of paraphernalia of Louis Armstrong next to the Louis Armstrong Museum, which he drags us to every time we're in New York. We go out to Queens and we go to the Louis Armstrong Museum, which is an amazing place to visit should you find yourself in New York.
I love a good fanatic.
He's a fanatic for sure.
Yeah, and a flugelhorn player as
Yeah,
well.
in fact, that's his email address. I think it's like Flugelboy or something like that. Feel free to email him.
I think I will, if only for a link to this interview. So you're in Montecito. What was the collaboration process like as you were shaping this show? Were the three of you able to get together, or was it a lot of Zooming?
We didn't do any Zooming, but Kate, I will, zip down to Los Angeles. I used to live in Los Angeles. I've been here in this area, Montecito, Santa Barbara, for 5 years now. But I figure I should go to her. So I will hop in the car, and we had 3 rehearsals for this thing. You know, we kind of know what we're doing. We know how each other work. We'll like email a couple of times, and then we did a rehearsal with the guys a couple of weeks ago, where we all went out to our drummer's house in Orange County, Matt's house, Matt Johnson, wonderful drummer. And we, ran through the show. And so our first show of this particular rendition, Trouble with Angels, our absolute first performance, will be on this Saturday. So it's going to be one of those things. I'm always a little nervous when we start a show. Once you get that first show under your belt, I feel much better. So right now I'm kind of on tenterhooks going, God, do I know what I'm doing? Do I know what I say here? Do I know the order? Do I know my words?
Right. It's a whole different thing when you get on stage, and it builds your confidence once you see you've pulled it off.
That's what I tell young people all the time. I said, you got to do in order to get the experience under your belt. You kind of just have to go out there and do it.
My guest is Golden Globe and Emmy Award-winning actress Jane Lynch. She and Kate Flannery, who's best known for her role as Meredith on The Office, are bringing a night of comedy and song to Medford and Reading in September. You mentioned working with young people. Do you do a lot of mentoring?
I'm not that giving. I'm not that generous, but I do get asked. I'll get asked, and I like in a forum like this, someone will say, "What would you tell a young person?" And that's what I would tell them. But actually, I mean, I do some things. I'm right near the University of California, Santa Barbara, and I visit their theater department, and we'll have little chats and little Q&As, some back and forth, and talk about the business and not so much the business. Actually, I don't like answering questions about the business, because it's the business. It will take care of itself. You really have to work on your craft and your confidence. It's so much about confidence.
Right. And the more you work, your confidence grows.
That's exactly right, Vanessa. That's exactly what I say. Yeah, because that was definitely my experience.
Yeah. I notice you have an MFA. Was that in theater?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to Cornell University. They have a master's acting program there. And so I spent 2 years in Ithaca, New York, doing plays and learning how to fence, doing ballet, analyzing scripts, doing mime. We did this really hard art form called American Mime, and it will just kick your ass. So it was a really, really wonderful thing. Did a lot of roles that maybe I would never have been cast in. They throw you in, throw you off the cliff, do stuff that you're not used to,
Yeah, they stretch you. That's a good thing about universities. There's pros and cons of higher education, but they do push you into areas you might not have chosen, sort of outside your comfort zone.
Exactly. And what happens is when you go outside your comfort zone, that which is your comfort zone becomes even better, because it becomes more vast and deep, and because you've stretched yourself every which way.
Right. And that's sort of true for you. You're sort of an example for that. So you've studied serious dramatic roles, learn those chops, but obviously you keep coming back to comedy. And I'd love to hear your love for that, because your love for comedy is running through, because even some of your theatrical roles have been about comedy. I'm thinking of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon and the Broadway revival of Funny Girl just in 2022. So when did I'll say, comic bug first bite you, and what do you love about it so much?
Well, I'm kind of a scientist of comedy, I've kind of realized, and it turns out that like Kate and the boys and anybody I hang out with, that you kind of are mining a situation for the absurdity of it. And I've always done that. And that has always tickled me. Observations about not just other people, because that's just mean spirited, but it's got to be in you. We are vastly hilarious. We have really weird things. We have weird thoughts, and we don't admit to a lot of them. But when you see someone on stage admitting to them and you're laughing, as much as you're maybe thinking to yourself, well, that's not me, you wouldn't be laughing if it didn't live in you somewhere. The embarrassing moments, that's why I was going to say we laugh when people slip on a banana peel, but I actually don't laugh at that, because it looks like you could hurt yourself. I don't find that funny. I don't have like the mean sense of humor, I hope. But anything that I do in my career that's comedy is stuff that comes right from me, right? Fears of my own, fears of humiliation, fears of embarrassment. And I do tend to play a lot of people who are shameless and arrogant. And I know where that lives. I mean, I don't think it would be funny if I didn't know where it would be shameless and arrogant. But when you know where it lives in you and you're able to laugh at that, that's gold.
This might be a little out of left field, but I'm sort of connecting this with a famous quote from a Buddhist named Pema Chodron.
I love her.
Okay, you might have heard this then. She says, "There I am." Do you remember that? She's talking about not judging people. So when you see somebody and they sort of have a distasteful quality, you can say to yourself, "There I am," because there's a fellow human with some of my same qualities. And the same works for comedy, because like you said, we laugh in recognition sometimes, like we're ridiculous.
Absolutely. There I am. Oh, I love that. That is beautiful. That I would say it's an important principle in real life. So when you find yourself like ticked off at someone or offended, there I am. Because if it triggered you, it means it lives in you.
There you go. Will this be your first stage show since Funny Girl?
Yeah, well, I've been doing this show. Funny Girl was about 6 months in 2022. I've been doing like the Christmas show that I do with the boys and Kate. We've been doing since 2016. So we're going into our 10th year. So I've been doing that longer. But this Trouble with Angels is the first new show, probably since then.
Okay. What's next for you?
Well, I hosted 11 episodes of The Weakest Link, which is going to be on Fox. And that comes out in September. And they're all celebrity themed shows. So nothing against the civilians who have been on the show, but there's something about bringing a group of celebrities, and we were very purposeful. They had themes, like we did a Glee reunion show. We did the Real Housewives. We did a show with all of them. We did TV doctors. We did sports people. It's another level. They are such great episodes. They're going to be so funny. So we've done 11 of those, and those will be on Fox. I think mid to late September.
All right. So we can look forward to that. And you'll be in our listening region of Jefferson Public Radio with The Trouble with Angels a couple of times in coming weeks. I'm not sure if you knew, but the JPR Foundation actually operates the Cascade Theater in Reading.
No, I didn't know that.
So you'll be there Friday, September 5th, and then you'll be at the Craterian Theater in Medford on September 13th.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be in your neck of the woods a couple of times. Yeah, our little Northwest tour, we're calling that.
Well, Jane, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I wish we had even more time. Long may this show run.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
My guest was actress and cabaret artist Jane Lynch, whose new show with Kate Flannery, called The Trouble with Angels, can be seen twice in our listening area this September. For ticket information, visit Craterian.org or CascadeTheater.org. You've been listening to The Creative Way on the Jefferson Exchange.